brand spanking new episode of Desert Island Graps later today. I'm really excited for this. The youngest Desert Island Graps visitor ever. His name is Stephen Spice. He is a Chiari warrior. He suffers Chiari, which is an issue with his brain. Bless him, he's 10 years old. He's had 2 brain surgeries. He's an absolute hero. And he is basically going to be the guy that takes over Desert Island Graps in years to come because he's an amazing wrestling interviewer. He spoke to guys like Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Edge, Dolph Ziggler. He's interviewed everybody. And he's given me a bit of time to have a chat on Cultaholic Island.
I can't wait to see that, mate.
He's so lovely. You can hear it on the podcast feed and you can see it at patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into your wrestling news. A controversial AEW Dark segment has been removed. Adam Cole has still not been offered a new WWE contract, and Kurt Angle names his price for one more match. Get your checkbook out, we'll get to it in a bit. So starting with something a bit grim, to be honest with you. So this is from AEW Dark last night. It was the 100th episode of AEW Dark. Max Castor, as he's wont to do, as part of the Acclaimed, came out and cut a rap-based promo on his opponents. And this one, for many wrestling fans, cut a little bit too close to the bone. It took a shot at Simone Biles, who is the Olympian whose story with mental health during the Olympics has been very much heralded and respected. There was certainly a dig taken there. It also included references to the Duke Lacrosse case. Now, this is a very widely discussed assault case from 2006, still spoken about today. The trial is finished, and the result of which is still discussed in circles. And it's a hot button topic that really you don't really bring up. This was left in its entirety on AEW Dark, which aired on YouTube last night. There was fan backlash of a very extensive variety, which led to AEW eventually cutting it from the show altogether. Originally, just having the show as unlisted, and then just taking the whole bit out altogether.
Right.
So
I mean, it's just there's several lines you don't cross, and obviously bringing up sexual assault and running down somebody with battling with their mental health it's just two things you. I mean, I don't understand why they thought it would be a good idea. That's the thing. I just.
Well, it's what it is that it's one of those things where people will argue that the Max Castor's character he's controversial. He's close to the edge.
You can be controversial and close to the edge without having to kind of tread into that territory.
I think you can, yeah. I think I've seen, because in the same sense, I've seen a lot of people very rightly offended by stuff like this. I've seen a lot of people offended that people are offended. Yeah. And this is the conversation that we seem to happen every time there's something that comes up that is in great taste. You'll have then people that come forward and go, oh God, we can't do anything now. No, you can do things.
Yeah, it's just kind of read the tone of the room and kind of read the tone of the promotion. The promotion as a whole, AEW's been very kind of open and accepting and modern in its approach to wrestling, and this just feels like alien on that landscape, I think.
I mean, Fight for the Fallen was a charity event. This seems like a weird, like talking about like the Duke Lacrosse thing, you know, is great to find words that rhyme with Duke Lacrosse. Nice. Yeah. You know, as well, you know, you can be well read, but you can also be awful at reading the room. That's here.
I saw a tweet about how, you know, in battle rapping that's like nothing, and I get that, but at the same time, it's not a battle rap. You're on TV as a wrestler, and it's you know, I don't know. I think they just need to kind of closely monitor stuff like this. And there are some situations in which you can make reference to controversial things, but you've got to kind of really pick and choose what those controversies are going to be before you go off on one.
More details on this at cultaholic.com throughout the day. Meanwhile, over in WWE, Adam Cole. This is such an intriguing tale.
Yes. So
with everything going on.
Either Adam Cole's holding out for more money, or I don't know what's going on, or he wants to leave, or it's all up in the air. But essentially, Adam Cole has apparently refused multiple contract extensions and contract, you know, redos and, you know, new deals that are being brought to him. And Fightful Select have reported that WWE sources have confirmed that Cole has not formally been offered a full new contract by WWE as of yet, but we're told it's obviously planned by a person of influence within WWE. So now this is counteracting the news that we've heard that he's been offered multiple contracts and has turned them all down. Now, obviously, the hype train is, choo-choo rolling quite a lot these days, but this is interesting because, one side of the story is true, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the whole thing of having a guy like Adam Cole on your roster, and this was talked about extensively in previous videos, but the idea of having a guy like Adam Cole on your roster and forgetting when his contract ends, had this been 1996,
yeah, it's kind of...
Adam Cole walking out in a big flannel shirt looking at Hogan and Bossman.
It's one of those things where WWE no doubt wants to maintain, Adam Cole's contract status, because how can they not? The guy is money, he's a license to print money, and I feel like he's a future locker room leader. And to be honest, I think if Adam Cole was to leave, we would see a big defection.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do everything they possibly can to secure Adam Cole, and I don't think he'll be leaving the New York territory. Yeah. Although, anything could happen, but at the minute, I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be a lot of, ooh, maybe, he pulled a bright, I'm staying with the World Wrestling Federation.
A 10-year contract, which he'll definitely honour and I'll never leave. I meant 95, by the way, for the thing earlier. No, I'm just saying that now, because people will write it. Cody Rhodes last night was on a media call. Jack was there as well to listen to what went down as he took questions from the press ahead of AEW Homecoming tonight. So he talked about the signing of free agents. He said, if there's a free agent out there that can move the needle and be something significant for us, I personally think you have to go after him, because they've been hiring a lot of people lately, so I'm referencing that. On AEW touring the UK, Cody Rhodes said that it depends on what happens with the handling of the pandemic, and he wants to make sure that it's all safe. He also said, and this is amazing, I always envisioned that the match I had with Anthony Ogogo would happen in the UK.
Well, that's it then, no AEW in the UK. That was the only one. That was the only one they were interested in.
Wrestling is not
We'll just have to wait for the Fed to come back to Wembley.
I would love Cody to go into that match with the Go-Go and just be full face.
Yeah, it's full-blown America and everybody's cheering.
Come on, guys! On the death match featuring Jericho and Nick Gage, he said the match went as advertised. They were happy with it, but they won't be seeing stuff like that very often in AEW, which is fine.
That's how you're supposed to use it.
Yes.
You pepper in the blood.
Pepper it in,
and that's what makes people like me, bitter old men now in the wrestling world. I want to see a bit of blood every now and then. I know it's not, it's a bit risque, but I want to see blood every now and then. I think there is a place for violent wrestling, just not ultra-violent stuff, like meat hooks and no. But, I'm all in for this sort of stuff. So as long as they use it sparingly, I think it'll never get old.
Pepper in the blood.
Yeah.
Not blood in the pepper. That's a weird lasagna. On AEW, the subject of AEW Rampage, which starts very soon, says it's going to be more wrestling-orientated, more based on in-ring action, because it's only an hour long. They also revealed that Mark Henry will be one of the commentators for the show. I thought that was already knowledge.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night when it was kind of dropping, and it was like, was he? Yeah.
Did they not say? Did not Tony do the whole? Here's a colour analyst, Mark Henry.
Maybe it was just to kind of double down on it, because we've not really heard much since the logo reveal, have we?
That's true. That's true. Maybe. And CM Punk in Chicago. He didn't say that. He didn't say. Honestly, as I've said, if CM Punk's not at that Chicago episode of Rampage, you might as well bin off Rampage. I'm just saying, it's going to go the way of Action Zone.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go that way.
I don't.
Oh, Sam Driver has stopped working.
I don't know, yeah. It's one of the things. Rampage, I feel Rampage is going to be a real get for them. I think it's going to be a hell of a show. They just got to make sure that it just has its own flavour and unique feel, and I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like. I love wrestling
that's an hour long.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy that they're not going to take SmackDown up to 3 hours just to talk about the other side of the fence. That was apparently discussed recently. That would have killed SmackDown. That would have killed it.
That makes me feel a little bit sad. Final Kurt Angle story. Take this with a pinch of salt.
I don't think this is a pinch of salt, mate. I think this is probably what you'd expect from anyone in that situation.
Kurt Angle was asked what it would take for him to have one more wrestling match. He told us on the Kurt Angle show, if they paid me $10 million, I would do one more match. I'll wrestle Kenny Omega for $10 million. I'll get my ass kicked. Checkbook out, Tony!
I'd love to see Angle get one more match. I really would. It's all on whether he wants to do it, of course, but me and Adam spoke about this the other day on the news. It's just one of those things where it wasn't a slight on Corbin at all. I love Corbin, but Yeah, Kurt deserved a bigger moment. And if we were able to get that, just get the big checkbook out, everybody chip in $1 million each, and just get 10 VPs there, right? It feels like it.
Yeah, that's $1 million each. That's a drop in the water. That's fine. Give the man $10 million and get battered by Kenny Omega.
Imagine he just jobs out Omega, takes the belt and unretires.
Yes, do that instead.
Because he can just turn that into a full-blown shoot. He can go Olympic mode. That's it.
Hey, it's the anniversary of him winning with a broken freaking neck.
I wonder if he ever wanted to just be like, you know what? And just shoot his way to holding the belt for 10 years.
Oh. I'd like to think he would do. Maybe. More news as we get it throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.